My special guest today is a singer, songwriter, and high energy performer who is based here in San Antonio. It's my pleasure to welcome to the show my friend Des, aka Fiona Zed. How are you doing, darling?
I'm doing awesome, Joe. How are you?
Good to see you.
It's great to see you.
I hadn't
Someday
seen
they'll
you.
see us.
The listeners don't see us. We're on like a Zoom call here, folks. But it was good to see you last. I hadn't seen you for a while. It was good to see you last week down on the Riverwalk when you performed.
It really
at Soho.
was. I probably wouldn't have been down there otherwise because Fiesta just been at the end of it, and that stuff drives me crazy. So I was like, let me come and see Joe and them before I go into my own show and get my own little calmness.
No offense, but I'm glad Fiesta's over.
Same.
You know,
Same.
Des, you're not originally from San Antonio. Where did you grow up?
Most of my life was from the West Coast, so I was born in California and Los Angeles, lived in Oklahoma for a while, then I lived in Oregon for a while, then here. So most of it's in the West Coast, just a little bit on this side, but mostly Oregon and California.
And when did you become involved in music?
Young, probably like 8 is when I started really wanting to do music for real.
Wow, that young,
And
eh?
that young, and I started doing like children's choirs. I started doing all these really cool little side projects within school and choir and theater too, and that was really fun. And then I think I started doing gigs probably in my 20s.
I was going to ask you that. Do you remember
Yeah.
your first musical performance?
My first musical performance?
Yeah.
I'd say my first bigger musical performance, I was probably, I can't remember if I was 9 or 11, but I was in an Oklahoma pageant, and it was the talent portion of it, and I did Como la Flor, Selena.
Oh, really? San Antonio, Selena, yeah.
Yeah, I won first runner-up, unfortunately, and the only reason I didn't win was because the girl that won was an amazing hula dancer. So, plus I was the only one that was like Mexican in that whole pageant. Yeah, so it was interesting.
What made you move to San Antonio?
A college sweetheart originally. After him and I split up about a year into the relationship, I stayed in San Antonio because I started getting a lot of opportunity. I was at Halta Moon at the time, so that opened up all the doors for me to go and gig around San Antonio through all the people that I met through there, and that was kind of a pivotal point in what made me decide to stay versus go back or anywhere else.
We're going to play some of your music today, and the first track is called "Losing My Ground." Before we play it, do you want to talk us through the song?
Yeah, Losing My Ground, I wrote a long time ago, and it was a poem in a diary entry, and it was just about a really toxic relationship that was wrapped around our toxicity for each other and also drug usage, which, good to say I'm not on those anymore, but that's what it was about, and it was about trying to stay above water, but you still keep slipping, so losing your footing, I guess, but trying to get it back.
Okay, let's hear the song. This is Losing My Ground.
A love so profound, a pure intoxication, warmth and safetyness masked as love. In the darkness found our salvation, and I refuse to go out like that, stepping up to the plate, swinging with no burn. I'm losing my ground, losing my ground. I'm losing my ground, losing my ground. I'm losing my ground, losing my ground. I'm losing my ground. Lost or not, damn distraught, baby, too hot-headed. The elixir nor the cure can't forget what's embedded. Our savior, our connection reflecting as it should be. Thought that I was losing love, I was only losing me. No, I'm losing my ground now. And I refuse to go out like that. Stepping up to the place, swinging with no bed. I'm losing my ground. Losing my ground. I'm losing my ground. Losing my ground. I'm losing my ground. Losing my ground. I'm losing my ground.
I like that track. Do you know, your voice reminds me, it's a cross, very soulful, a cross between Sade and Alana Miles.
Oh, I love it. I love both of them.
Yeah.
Sade is my
So it's a
fave.
bit like husky, jazzy, and also a bit of Black Velvet.
Yeah, thank
You know?
you. I love both of those women's voices. I love Sade's style very much. It's
Yeah.
very versatile, but it just still brings you back to a place like you feel it.
But that's an older track, right? That's not something from your current
That's off
project.
an older track. Yeah, it was on. No, that was on Des and Greg Painted Skies, and that was I had Max Garcia on the bass for that one, which was cool, and John Bammer produced and engineered that one, and then Greg Galindo was on the guitar. Yeah.
Now, you do have an exciting new project with Bentley Records based out of New York. Tell us about
Yes.
that, Des.
So it's just the artist development deal that they gave me right now. They said they found me on Reverb Nation, so I guess that works. They're based out of New York, but they have a European division, and I got picked up by the European division, which is really, really cool. I think their New York division deals a lot more with hip hop, and the European division is more like the rock alternative side. But it's brand new right now. I'm just learning the ropes of the music business, and I just got some artwork submitted for my logos for the individual songs. I don't know. So far, it's just been good, but as soon as I submit it to the platforms, which will be today, actually,
Okay.
then it should be up and running in the next week. So I'm excited.
Right. Musical influences.
Musical influences. Youngest would have to be Selena. I love the Moody Blues.
Oh, really? You like the Moody Blues? Justin
I
Hayward.
saw Justin Hayward when I was 20 or 19, and it was just like amazing. Yeah, I love.
Well,
love
are
the
you
Moody Blues.
familiar with Denny Lane? Well,
Yeah.
Denny Lane was in the Moody Blues. You know, the Moody Blues have been going a long, long time. They started way
Yeah.
back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
But Denny Lane, who was Paul McCartney's guitar player, the main guy in Wings with Paul McCartney, was a Moody
I
Blue.
love Wings.
Well,
Yeah.
he was on the Moody Blues, and his hit was Go Now. Since you gotta go, oh, you better go now. Go now, go now. That was Moody Blues.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that's an old Moody Blues song. That's Denny Lane singing that.
Yes. I didn't know that.
Because when McCartney did Wings Over America, 1976, that was in the set list, that song, for the Wings show.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
cool. I gotta tell my mom about that. She's a music
Oh, yeah.
music buff.
How did you come up with the name Fiona Zed?
Well,
Because your real name is really cool, isn't it? Desiree K. No, the full thing, like Desiree K. Segura.
I'll keep that
That's
when
a
I do
cool
my
name.
films. But Fiona Zed is just kind of like who I become when I'm on stage. So Fiona was the name of my alter ego that we discovered in my 20s that I didn't know I had, but she comes out. Her name is Fiona. But she just does everything that I normally would do, but just literally sassier. And then Zed is Des backwards. So
okay.
even though my name is Desiree, it's Desire. I spell my nickname Des, Dez. So it's like a mirror image. Originally, it was Fiona Zed, but then I just capitalized the F and the Z. I just thought that just felt better. They're like one person, but it's a mirror image, but two different entities,
I got, so yeah, because we all call you Des.
Yeah, everybody calls me Des, yeah. And I've been getting called Fiona a lot lately, too, which is fine with me. So Fiona Zed now has a nickname, too.
I know you've been on the San Antonio live music scene for a number of years. Where can people come and see you live at the moment?
This week, today, I'll be at 151 Saloon with the full band. Tomorrow and Saturday, I'll be downtown at Soho. And then I'm taking the week off next week because it's my brother's birthday. But the following week after that, I will be at a little bar called Fritzer's in Ingram. Yeah, it's a little bar, but very cozy, very cool. If you're looking for a hometown kind of place, then that's the place for you.
And when you're taking the week off, you're going back to California to visit family?
No. My brother just wants to go camping, so we're just gonna go camping for that weekend. Yeah, so I'm just gonna.
Does he live here?
Work on music. Yeah. We go over to Spring Branch area. I love it. It's gorgeous.
New album to be released this year called GEMINI.
I think it'll be an EP, yeah, and it's probably gonna be released as singles first, and then I'll make the compilation EP. Is what my goal is anyway. But it'll be called GEMINI,
right.
And the whole purpose of it is I'm a Gemini as well, but I think I want the album to kind of, or the EP or whatever, to just display who I truly am on all facets. So like a lot of people think I'm just a hard rock singer. I'm a rock singer, which I do love, but I also am classically trained in classical music and jazz. So it's like jazz is my second love right there, or my just as equal love. So I mean, but I also do soul, and I also do R&B, and I also do funk. So I want to have at least an EP or an album's worth of just different songs that I like to do that I do. That isn't just rock. Of course rock, but not just rock.
So did you study jazz?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you sound like her or anything like that, but that's where the Amy Winehouse bit comes in.
I love her so much.
I know you do, because you've got the tattoo and all that, haven't you?
Yeah, I got a big old tattoo on my leg, yes.
It's on the leg, by the way, everybody.
That guy from Eugene.
Yeah, it's on the leg. Just in case everyone's wondering, how I know you've got a tattoo. It's on a leg. It comes in the bar. And everyone knows about Des's Amy Winehouse tattoo. But because she was like, Tony Bennett said, what a jazz singer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He did.
And like, Amy. I loved watching the video of her playing with Tony Bennett in the back, like the back, how do you say, stuff in the background.
Yeah, because
she was like super nervous, had to do take over, because she was just super nervous to be with Tony Bennett, and that to me was just, I don't know, I felt that in my heart. That was cool. That would have been me with her.
Well, know, a friend of mine, Tom Young, who's Tony Bennett's sound engineer for 26 years, he's just retired. He was with Sinatra for 12 years before that. He told me all about that because he worked on all that project. And he said, he said Tony.
Cool. I would love to hear that.
He said Tony flew all over the world. He flew to London to McCartney. Same with Amy. He went to Italy for Bocelli, and he traveled. I
mean, that'd be the way to do it, though. Jeez, like just be at a new place to record all the time. I'd do it.
Oh yeah, I know.
What a life.
We're gonna play another track. Talk us through this one, Wasteland.
This one I wrote. It was a really depressing. I wouldn't even say it was a relationship. It was just a 3-year cat and mouse tug along. You know what I mean? So Wasteland was just at the point where my heart was like, it was like I was feeling full heartache, but it was just like a whole plane. If that makes sense. So like, heartache can sometimes be really like congested or localized. This was just like a barren, just never ending land of just never ending heartache. And that's what so this song, both of those songs we wrote from the ground up. This song, my friend Adrian and I wrote note from the ground up and spent not like 2 days on it, completely just enveloped in it. And I'm proud of how it came out. And this is I think the version I sent you on this one is, or both of them actually, it was the Bentley Records mastering. So yay.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hear it. Wasteland, here we go. I like that one. Love your voice on it as always, but I like the way that one starts out pretty haunting at the beginning. Then it gets a bit heavier.
Yes,
Then it
that
kicks
was
in.
some.
It rocks it out a bit there.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that that translated through because that's how it felt like when I do the music video. That's exactly how I want it to look like. Very hollow, very haunting. Just kind of like you don't even know how to navigate your own heart at that moment. It's all barren. It's just burnt down. It doesn't exist anymore. You know.
So you're going to do a music video to that one?
I absolutely want to do a music video to it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of haunting elements in it, and when we wrote it, I wanted it to sound like that master too, like that just kind of echo of despair, you know.
Yeah. Well, talking about your songwriting, you write all the lyrics, right?
I write all my own lyrics except
Yeah.
for the album Painted Skies. The only lyrics I wrote in that one was Losing My Ground.
Okay.
The rest of the ones were written by Curtis Platt, who's an amazing lyricist. Wanted to try something different, and he did not disappoint.
Where does the music come from when you're writing?
Pain, pain, depression, heartache.
No, what I'm saying is
I
like I'm talking about like melodies and stuff because you work with a lot of musicians. Do you have co-writers to do the music? Because I know you do the lyrics.
I do the composition too.
Oh, you do?
So
Okay.
basically, yeah, I do. I do everything. I do everything. The only thing because I can't play guitar
Right.
yet, but so I don't play guitar and I don't play drums and I don't play bass. So, but I know how they sound. So I'll come with this idea, and I have a few producers. Mainly one, Adrian, is my favorite producer that I like to work with because he just gets my mind. But I'll just hum the different parts and be like, it sounds like this, and then he'll start playing them with me. He'll be like this, so it'll be like 15 minutes of him trying to fine tune of what I'm coming through, and then us adding together what it is, and him helping me realize out loud and instrumentally what what I have in my head. So like Wasteland is exactly how it sounded in my head.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you because I know you don't play an instrument. You're a singer, you're a lyricist, a great performer.
I play
great
some
live
keys, but I
performer.
mean not well enough.
Yeah, so
I use it in composition, but not. I couldn't go out there and start jamming. You know.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure, where the actual melodies come from. So they are in your head, even though you're writing the lyrics, the melodies in your head too, and you just go over to the musicians.
And then I know how to read and write music, so I'll have like in my notebooks, I'll have like a staff, just like or a couple of just bars where I'm just like, okay, this is the general idea.
Yeah.
This, and then like just me just demonstrating basically, and we get it done. So I mean, pretty blessed to know some people who can just understand what's going on in here.
Well, let's talk about the musicians you're working with at the moment. I know you've worked with so many musicians in the past. You work with a lot of people. So,
I got to, yes.
Yeah.
Including you.
Including me.
Yes.
So you're working with right now on this project with the current stuff?
Right now, it's at a skeleton. So I've reached out, but I haven't brought anybody into the studio yet. So right now it's in its skeletal form. So I'm actually meeting up with Adrian next week to start hammering down at least 2 to 3 of these songs. I did a song that's going to be on there off the cuff featuring Mustafa. That one's explicit. So if you guys have a chance, look it up off the cuff on YouTube. Okay. That one is a really cool one that we just did, like literally winged it, and that one's gonna go on GEMINI too. That's got more of a Def Leppard, Van Halen feel to it. Right. So you got a little bit of classic rock in that stuff, or classic rock in that. So I like it. Okay. But in that one, that was Mustafa. I'm working with Adrian right now. I have people that I know I want to do with my songs, including a 16-year-old. Are they called trumpeteers or trumpists? Trumpeteer.
Do you know what? I don't know.
Right?
A trumpet player.
One who plays the trumpet.
A trumpet player. That's all I know.
He's amazing. Yes, trumpet player. But he's amazing. He's my friend's son. I'm really excited to get him on because I have one that's going to be super Sade, very film noir. Very cigarette underneath a street lamp with red lipstick. Dick Tracy. Yeah. So you're
talking to somebody who grew up in Liverpool, had no musical education, just got stuck into the bars and played by ear. So all this musical talk sometimes, even now, I'm like, I don't know. It could be a trumpet.
I know.
It could be a trumpeter. I don't know.
It could. Is it a trumpeter or a trumpist? A trumpeterist. I don't know.
Do you know what that reminds me? That reminds me of seeing a funny interview with Paul McCartney talking about when he met the Scottish band Travis. I don't know if you're familiar with Travis. You're driftwood floating on the water. And he sang it, why does it always rain on me? good Scottish bands from the 90s. And McCartney was with them one time, and they were playing a song, and Paul McCartney said to the singer, Fran, he said, I like the way you do that F sharp bit there. He said, the what? He said, that F sharp bit. He said, oh, we call that one up from F.
One up from.
We call it one up from F.
Pinky out. Pinky
So
out.
yeah, so talk about like, you know, not knowing any musical terms and that, you know.
Like, it's the same thing when I'm trying to describe how I want the drums played. So I'm just like, you know, like a roaring sound, like you're just like a galloping, like you're in a stampede. Like,
Yeah.
I'm over here having to describe what I want, but they always get it. Like, I've worked with Landis in the past. He's amazing. He owns a part owner of Cibolo Studios. Freaking amazing drummer.
We did that show at the Amp Room, and he played drums for me after you guys had been on. Fantastic drummer.
He's fantastic. Yeah. And then, like, that was all him on, except for Losing My Ground, but that was all him for the rest of the tracks on Painted Skies. And he just, in the studio, I was just kind of like, and we got to do it at Cibolo Studios, which was awesome. And it was like, that's a true rock star studio right there, I promise you. Because you can have all the lights on like a studio, or you can have it in concert mode and record that way. And I'm like, yes. Even the singer's booth has its own little light show. It's amazing.
We're going to play one more track. This is a little blast from the past for you, okay?
Okay, what is it?
I wrote this as a duet. And you came in and sang it with me, so I thought we're going to play this on today's show. Des and Joe, shall we say, Crazy Like I Like It. Here we go, Crazy Like I Like It. If it's my desire to hit the town way after midnight, she'll crawl out of her bed, put on a dress and dancing shoes.
If skating naked on thin ice sounds like a plan, it's alright. I'll wear my birthday suit and ride along with you.
This is our world, anything goes. It's a fast ride. That's how we roll. No rules here, they don't apply. If we feel it, we'll give it a try. We cannot tell
what hides around the corner,
heaven or hell,
a bed of roses or disaster.
We know too well. You and I deserve each other. Baby, you are crazy, crazy like I like it after all. If I show up to an Aussie gig dressed as a cowboy, I know you'll join me. We could line dance to Crazy Train.
The more bizarre the dare, the mightier the thrill. With you I'll run through fire, skydive in a hurricane.
When the sun shines, we always smile. If the rain falls, we're still on a high. We live a life, the fun never fades. There ain't nobody gonna spoil this parade. We cannot tell
what hides around the corner,
heaven or hell,
a bed of roses or disaster.
We know too well. You and I deserve each other. Baby, you are crazy, crazy like I like it after all. Anything goes, it's a fast ride. That's how we roll. No rules here, they don't apply. If we feel it, we'll give it a try. We cannot tell
what hides around the corner,
heaven or hell,
a bed of roses or disaster.
We know too well. You and I deserve each other. Baby, you are crazy, crazy
crazy like I like it after all.
I had to play that one today.
Yay.
Thanks for coming to the studio and recording that one with me. We had a bit of fun that day, didn't we?
We had a blast that day. That was really fun.
But I love doing it live with you. Especially when we had the full band that night at the Amp Room. We did it with the full band live. And
Yeah.
when I listen to it now, I wish we would have recorded it slightly faster tempo. Because on stage we do
You
it.
can re-record it, do a reprise.
Yeah, we should do something because I think it's when we've done it live, it's a lot more upbeat.
Oh, yeah, slightly, yeah.
But the thing is, when you do an album or whatever, you know, if you've never performed some of the songs before, you write them, you go in the studio. That's what happens sometimes. And that's what happened with that one and a lot of other songs as well, you know. Anyway, enough about my songs.
I mean, I'm going to re-record my song. I'm going to re-record a couple of mine, too, because I'm just like, yeah, that was cool, but let me do it this way.
Well, Des, what's the best platforms for people to find out more about you and your music?
Right now it's gonna be Instagram, so it'll be Fiona Zed, FIONAZED, and Facebook, same thing. Or my website, FionaZed.com. Next week I will be streaming over all platforms under the name Fiona Zed. So
You're on Twitter now too, right? That. You do Twitter
yes,
as well?
I've been on Twitter. It's Des4Prez, the number DEZ, the number 4 PREZ.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago when I was in politics, and I just never changed it. So.
Well, Des, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Joe.
Best
I
of
appreciate
luck.
you so much.
Oh, no problem. Best of luck with the new record.
Thank you. Time to get you in the studio.
Yeah, we'll have to go in the studio again and do something live again, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm ready for it now that we're getting a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm getting back to normal. Desiree K. Segura, ladies and gentlemen, a.k.a. Fiona Zed. Thank you, Des.
Thank you, Joe.